In 5, 4, 3, 2.
Hey, Beverly Hills 90210 fans, stop what you're doing right now, because it's time to dive deep into 90 News. All the latest news and rumors coming out of your favorite zip code. With your hosts, Pete Ferrero and Melanie Rose. Oh my God, I can't believe what I just heard.
Well, Melanie, it is time for 90 News, and it's always exciting to see you. How's everything in San Diego today?
Things are good. It's a beautiful day. It's Friday. Can't wait for the weekend, and it's great to be here doing the news. How about yourself, Pete?
I'm doing great. All's good in the hood. All's good in the Dina, as I like to say. I watched some stuff this week, so I can, when we talk about that, I will have some notes on all that. So
Excellent.
all right, why don't we bring our buddies out? This was such an exciting week, Melanie. Right off the bat, I want to say, and hey, Charles, hey, Larry, but we got to 100 episodes of our podcast, and I thought that was really, really exciting. And, I know we talk about this all the time, but it's interesting when people say that that we made COVID better in some weird way, or we got them through this pandemic or these dark times. And I don't know that we ever intended to do that. I thought we would just be talking about 90210 and it'd be a bunch of fun, but it really does. It really is touching when people send us messages like that. So I don't know if you've gotten to see any of that, Larry, in the.
Oh, sure. I think it's great. We always felt like we were a pandemic pastime. That was when we had the biggest audiences. But now, hopefully, we'll eventually get out of this. But maybe not. I don't know. This is endless.
Fucking COVID.
The cancellation. I'm so sorry about that Brian Fallon one. I wanted you to see it. We
were so excited to go to the concert February 8th, and then we just got that. I got a horrible email that he canceled the concert. So it's just that's where we are now. I think we're back into that cancellation period. So.
Bummer.
Wait, February 8th? I'm supposed to be going to.
Yeah, you're coming. I wasn't going to see the show. Pete was going to the show.
Oh, just Petey. Okay.
Yeah, no, I thought about it, but again, it's just too big a trip. But yeah, I love seeing Brian Fallon, but I wasn't going to see him. But I
good.
He was skipping.
Christina, we're going to see her. She's a giant fan.
She's a huge fan. My wife, yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so we were going to go, and then it's canceled. So that's 2021 and 2020 and 22. Everything is canceled.
Glad I went to as many concerts as I did when I got back.
There was that brief, really weird run in 21, right, where everything was back to normal.
Yeah. That was nice. I did some concerts during that time.
I think I went to 8 shows.
Yep.
That's when we snuck to Hawaii. My family snuck to Hawaii.
Same.
Exactly.
Same. Yep.
You did too. I know that you did that.
Yes. Let's plug Larry's book before we get to our next thing.
Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Let me see what I got here.
And I did pull a picture also labeled very nicely for you, Pete, by the way.
There's the book, Road to Shambhala. It's now available for pre-order on Amazon. I suggest reading the first two because it's a trilogy. All my fans out there, I'm hoping they give a little time to reading. You will love you a long time. You will enjoy it. You'll expand your mind. You'll understand a peek inside my head. And there's raunchy stuff in it. It's very adult. It's not like 90210, but there are certain elements, and you'll laugh a lot, and you'll learn a lot, and you'll have some fun. You've read something. Literature, baby. Read. Anyway, thank you. Road to Shambhala. Pre-order at Amazon. But
I'm going to read it. And every time, I don't think I can read it all in one sitting. So every time I pick up the book again, I will sing at the top of my lungs, on the road to Shambhala.
Everybody, I love that one. I do reference that, Chuck. It was a Three Dog Night song, and Shambhala is actually Shangri-La, and it's like all these novels, they're based on like urban myths and legends, and this one is involved with the treasure of Genghis Khan and the actual existence of Shambhala, Shangri-La, somewhere in the mountains between Mongolia, Kazakhstan, and southern Siberia. So you get a little travelogue here, and you'll have some fun. But pick these books up, man. If you care about me, care about what's inside my head, go right ahead.
And you can go to LarryMullen.com to find out all the latest news and rumors of what's going on in Larry Mullen's life.
It's also links to all the books, obviously, and stuff.
The show
and to the store, Pete. You can buy merch right from that site too.
The latest news and rumors about Larry right now is that he's pretty much back in lockdown, right? Not much is happening.
Lockdown? No, we're going out to the desert next week for a month. And
there you go.
Come out and visit. We're going to do a show live from the desert, so
it's going to be fun.
You're not going to want to miss that.
The desert highlights.
Hey guys,
we'll probably take some peyote too, just to make the trip better.
Mix it up a little bit.
Well, yeah, because it's Wednesday. You know, we always take peyote before we do the show.
You have to.
Peyote Wednesdays.
We'll lick a couple of toads. You know, I think we can lick some toads there too. You know, that have that toad where you lick the little stuff on the toad and you get high too.
Ooh.
Hey guys, I don't know if you heard this morning, but the musician, we were talking about music, but Meatloaf passed away. That was
what?
a sad.
I didn't know that.
That was a tough 2 deaths this morning.
Louis Anderson too, right?
One from rock and roll with Meatloaf, and the other one with Louis Anderson, the comedian. I mean, what's going on? 2022.
Louis Anderson. Well, gee, here's 2 men who were a little rotund.
That's
That's who the virus. Because didn't Meatloaf? I read something. The first flash was that he passed from COVID.
Yeah.
But then I read something else, didn't make a mention of it, so I don't know what the story was.
Yeah, I thought COVID too. Look, I mean, the strength of him, he was an amazing, powerful singer. But Jim Steinman was a lyricist who was an incredible lyricist from Texas. He died a couple of years ago, but he wrote those songs. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Bad out of hell.
I mean, but Meatloaf,
I won't do that. And those songs are epic.
So epic. I mean, and Meatloaf is just so passionate. That's what it makes those songs so great. His dedication to those songs. Okay, we've covered the celebrity death portion. Let's talk about this last week, and we did briefly say how nice it was. Looking back on those clips, though, Charles, really nice to see some of the fun things that happened, right?
You know, it sure was. And, you know, I know that Todd, our friend and editor in Texas, pulled a lot of different clips. Yes. And you only used a small percentage of them because there's so many wonderful moments. I'd love to see some of those that we didn't get to, you know, over the course of our next year.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or, you know, or however.
Or wherever.
Long the year is.
Or maybe you can release it as outtakes on YouTube. Yeah, that'd be good fun to see the clips from the best of.
Definitely.
A show of that. That'd be nice to see. I'd like to see it.
For sure. I mean, it's been fun. Really. I mean, was there one that we watched that you were just like, oh my God, I do remember that? I mean, the thing for me was going back to the Spice Girls clip that got all of that sort of kind of put us on the map, right? That was the one you telling that Spice Girls story, Larry.
That was the first show, I think, wasn't it?
It was. It was the first show. Yeah.
You know.
And then, of course, the kissing problem and so many other things.
Right.
Okay.
And for me, you know, every time I sing falsetto,
I love your greatest hits.
There is a moment that is my voice going to crack now? You know, every once in a while, you know, it does. And I'm glad the first time I did it on our show, it did not crack.
It was fantastic.
Loud and clear.
Love
loud and clear.
All right. Now, in this week, we don't know what we're covering yet, but we do know that Michael Stoyanov is coming, Larry, for a season 7 episode with the magic show and the AIDS thing.
Well, I think it's the whole storyline of the Jimmy Gold, the guy who's basically HIV positive, who's in a hospice, and Kelly Taylor, as part of her psychology thing for her senior year, volunteers there and develops a friendship with him while she's going through a difficult time and he's going through a difficult time. And it really worked pretty well. I saw a couple of the scenes from that. I went, oh yeah, that was pretty good. I mean, again, it was in the tradition of Chuck Rosen doing some real social stuff, issues, and also destigmatizing AIDS, because we actually used guys who were HIV positive as the extras at Friendship House, the hospice we created here, which I had forgotten that. It's compelling.
It's very compelling, and Michael really delivers in this performance.
Yeah, I should say that first and foremost. Michael really does a fantastic job. He was the actor on Blossom, which was a comedy, but this thing, he's very touching. I mean, Jesus, it's a real tearjerker, that story.
So that's 2 weeks from now. We're getting ready to plan all that out. The other thing that happened after the podcast was we do our live after darks with some of the people that are Patreon subscribers, and one of those people was Caitlin. I'll get it, Melanie.
Oh, no.
No, you're good.
Good.
We just had a
At
little.
the same time. Yeah.
We had a little quarrel there.
Yes.
Um,
They both couldn't wait to bring you in.
We were
Oh,
so
that's
excited.
so
we were
sweet.
so excited. And it was your
I'm
first
excited.
day on Patreon the other day, right?
I know. I've been
Wow.
meaning to sign up forever.
Mhm.
And I picked a great day.
You did. You did.
and
You
the
had
reason
a nice surprise for us.
it just kind of happened. I'll be totally honest. It was not a well thought out surprise. I wish I could take more credit for it, but I was talking with him about something else. And then I was like, hey, I'm in this Zoom with everybody. Do you want to come in? He goes, okay, send me the link. And of course, Brian Austin Green popped in to the Patreon and he answered everybody's questions.
Yeah, he hung out for a long time.
That was
Really
awesome.
cool.
Yeah. Just a good dude. So what did you think of talking to Brian Austin Green, Caitlin?
Well, I wasn't prepared, but it was
None
awesome.
of us were.
No, I mean, he's such a cool guy, down to earth. Big fan. So no, it was awesome. So thanks for making that happen, Pete.
Of course. Well, thanks, Brian. I mean, the thing
that's
is, I think he was on TV right at the
His show was premiering that night.
Yep.
Yeah.
He played a celebrity detective on I Can See Your Voice. Is that what it's called?
That's right.
See Your
Yeah.
Voice. So you should check that out on Fox, I think. or
Wednesdays
ABC.
at 8 p.m. I have that in our rundown today.
Yeah,
Boom.
having said
Was
that-
he on every
Definitely
week,
that.
or was it once? No,
He
so
was
it's all
only
the
on
other-
1 week.
Oh,
So
he was
you
on
gotta
one week,
go.
okay.
Where do you gotta
Yes,
go? You gotta go to
celebrity.
Disney Plus or someplace.
some
right?
shit, right? Fox
on,
Plus.
on demand, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody has a plus these days, so just find the plus, and you'll be able to find it. So.
Totally.
All right, Melanie, is there anything else? Do you want to ask these guys, including Caitlin, what they're all watching on TV right
I would
now?
love to hear what everyone's watching right now. Let's start with Caitlin. What are you
Oh,
watching right
my
now? What shows
gosh.
are you into?
Not at this particular moment, right?
I'm trying
In
to
general, like what are you enjoying?
think. Let's see. I feel like I'm watching a lot of different things. I recently started Silicon Valley. I know it's like an older show from HBO. My husband and I started The Sopranos too, but then we got postponed on that. Obviously, I'm always watching reruns of 90210. Oh man, I feel like there was a show. The morning show, obviously.
That ended, yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I saw The Dark Side of the 90s. Some of those.
Yeah.
Charles
it was
was in
great.
that.
Your
That
episode?
was I know. Those were really good. And I watched an episode of Dark Side of the Ring too, the wrestling.
Yes. Have you seen that, Larry? Have you seen any of
No,
the?
I'm afraid to see that.
You haven't come up yet, but there's.
It's possible. There were some pretty stunning, stupid moments I made.
Yeah, no, you
Yeah.
haven't.
I am known as Uncle Larry on the tour, but
There's some
pretty
good. There's some
flattering.
good
I
ones.
discovered I was older than Vince McMahon. That was pretty upsetting.
Larry, were you there for the plane ride from hell? Do you know what that is? Are you aware of that
That's
term?
the one I watched.
Oh,
I think that's your time. I think that's your time period. Yeah.
We had a plane ride from hell from New York to Birmingham, England. I remember that one.
I believe that's the. I believe that's that.
With Pat Patterson stripped on that one because Vince wouldn't let him smoke. And
no, but I want to know more about this.
Yeah,
This is the one where Ric Flair. I mean, now we're really in wrestling here, but Ric Flair accosts a stewardess, which is probably every time he was on a flight.
I don't even know. Why would it be a stewardess? It was private planes only.
It was the stewardess on a private plane. Yeah. So
We like to call them flight attendants. It is.
Yeah.
2020.
No, I haven't. I wasn't on that flight from hell, but I was on a lot of flights.
Yeah. Well, you got to know that. I'm not that much of a praying man, but from the moment that Larry said, "I'm doing this with working for Vince McMahon," I know that his wife Dee and I, every day was, "Please have this stop."
I didn't know you were praying too. Yes, I was, because I was so tremendously bad at it. I mean, it couldn't have been a worse wrestler.
Well, but you went in with such expectation because, hey, we're writers, we can do this. And Larry had some
theater
ideas, but you're up against wrestling orthodoxy culture, and forget about it.
I do love. I know we're
right, and that's it.
Little off topic.
We're really in the weeds here, but you do have a great story.
There are good stories, but you know what? These stories are also in my books.
I understand, but
I pack my novels with wrestling stories.
Maybe some wrestling site will share this, but isn't it true that you got yelled at? You got yelled at for calling someone by either the Undertaker or Ric Flair by the wrong name, right? Didn't you?
No. My friend Gary Brown got fired for calling the Undertaker that guy when he was doing the rundown. And then that guy comes in, they went, stop. And he was like fired on the spot because, and I spelled, in England without my assistant who would, did the final finishing scripts. I spelled the name of Ric Flair incorrectly, and I apologized to 80 people.
Wow,
that's wrestling.
Not a bad thing to apologize for.
He had it one time. I had to apologize to 80 people after every episode.
It's terrible. Yeah.
Oh boy.
But we got to go back to what we're watching.
Thank you, Chuck. Yes.
We're watching.
Because this is insufferable, but also because not really. No, it's good stuff.
Good times.
But
I apologize.
I need to give a shout out to the creator of 90210, the man who started all this. I and Karen have watched 6 episodes of the second season of Emily in Paris, otherwise known as Fashion on Parade.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very fun show, and those of you who used to make fun of what Donna was wearing a given episode, you got Lily Collins on steroids to do that. Not steroids, on synthetic fabrics to do that. I mean, it's a lot of fun and good writing. And one of Darren's really close friends and colleagues, Robin Siegel, who wrote Ted and the two Romy and Michelle's
High School Reunion. Love that
High
movie.
School Reunion. That's one of Darren's buddies, so she's on it and giving funny jokes and funny lines and stuff, I'm sure.
Well,
Very cool.
really good stuff. Everybody's watching, and we're going to move the show along. Yes, Melanie, or is there anything else?
Let's do it. Unless Larry has any shows he wants to add. I know you've been watching English crime shows.
Yeah, I've been watching The Meyer, a Polish detective series, which is pretty raunchy and interesting. Yeah, The Meyer. It's on Netflix. I can't recommend it until I see the end of it, but it's pretty compelling. Yeah.
All right.
And I have to tell you, I don't know, Chuck, did you watch West Side Story at all? I got the link for it yesterday from the Writers Guild, and I started watching it.
Yeah.
I kept going, why did they remake this? Why didn't they just remake
Why do they remake the things?
It made no sense. And it pointed out all the wrong things, like, the immigration problem was it's all backwards. Like the white guys are the racists, and it's like such a mishmash. I'm going like, why did they do this? It makes no sense. It's the same choreography.
Just leave it alone. Yeah.
It was the same impulse when they decided to remake my favorite movie of the late 60s. How they had the audacity to remake Bonnie and Clyde was beyond me. Even more than West Side Story was the early 60s. This was the late 60s. Both of them. Leave the good ones alone. If anybody tries to remake The Usual Suspects, I'm coming after you.
Yeah.
What about Midnight Cowboy?
Oh, you can be sure that one's going to be remade. That's no question about it.
Yeah.
It's really insane.
One of the Chris's, yeah, sure.
All right. Well, thank you guys for stopping by. We will see something this week, I'm sure. And if not, we'll be back in a couple of weeks for it.
Yes, thank you guys. Good to see you, Caitlin. Have a good weekend,
Thank you so
everybody.
much.
Thank you, Caitlin. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good one. Nice to see you guys. Bye.
Good seeing you, Caitlin. Bye.
Bye.
I'm letting you do this now, Melanie.
Oh, are you? That would have been good to communicate with me first.
Jeez.
I'm just kidding. But I would like to point out that, this week I sent you an email with a rundown and labeled every single picture. So I'm expecting magic today.
I just want to say I apologize for my outburst last week, but it's very difficult to figure out what is labeled, but it is all labeled, and I'm able to find it now. Yes, that was done.
That's
and now
one we already did. So check that off the list.
Okay. So now let's get into more things that have been happening into the world. I said on Instagram that I would shout anybody out who wrote me a DM, and so Kristen McIsaac did, of course, and so did Maggie. So
very nice. Very nice. Love them. You know, one thing we didn't point out on the 100th episode is I feel like Kristen McIsaac might own the most merch of anybody who's purchased merch.
Oh, thank
She
you.
might get an award, you know, like, I mean, she owns a
She
lot of stuff.
definitely
She
has
owns
gotten
a
herself.
good collection.
She has definitely earned herself a free something. You know?
Yes. Agree. We'll get you a mug or whatever, something, Kristen, to thank you. Yes.
All right. I want to start on this. Let's see here.
Let's start there. Oh, yeah. So you texted this story to me this week, Pete, and said something about karma, right? Because, of course,
Well,
we all know.
they say what goes around, comes around or whatever. But I mean, this has been fascinating to me because, this story became a big thing for our podcast. And because we drove into it, we jumped into it and wanted to cover it because when I have the very Jersey in me when I hear that my people are being attacked. I need, like this incident happened. I need to find out and uncover if this really happened.
Yes.
And
let's say what it is for people listening who might not have seen.
Sure. We're talking about the Jessica Alba story. Thank you for that.
And Jensen Ackles criticized her for being very difficult to deal with when they worked together.
He said horrible.
Yep. On the Dark Angel show.
I want to say, though, when we were covering all of that, when that whole thing and Christina Lease made a comment and then it kind of like escalated again. And then, Tori and Jenny had to respond to it on their podcast and everybody was starting to be asked about it. We did have somebody who was a extra that was going to come on to the news and tell us a similar thing about Jessica Alba, but we did not go there. We said we don't want to cause any more strife. This is we can only handle I asked the director of that episode if he saw any tension or any of this stuff. So we did do that. But now to hear this, and I'm sure Jessica Alba is a very wonderful human being. She does a lot for charities and all that stuff, and she seems so super kind. But I guess you just got to be careful.
I mean, it's ironic, she says that, she couldn't look the main cast of 90210 in the eyes. And then, of course, that became a big deal. And now people are kind of saying that she's a little bit of a diva, too. So, I mean, maybe she learned it there if it happened, which apparently it didn't, as Christina Lease noted. So,
I mean, it may have happened.
Who knows?
I just want to be clear. Lindsay Price and I on Guest Star, we analyzed that a little bit. So if you haven't checked that out, make sure you do, because we talked about, why people have, that's not, Jessica Alba's not the first person to have had an experience like that on 90210. So, I mean, we explored it. So, okay, let's see. Speaking of Brian.
Yes, I pulled this from Instagram stories this week. Rebecca O'Connell, thank you. Brian was a celebrity guest star on I Can See Your Voice, which was on Wednesday night, same night he popped onto our After Dark Zoom. And he was actually accompanied by celebrity guest Kelly Osbourne. And the show is hosted by Ken Jeong. And it has to do with there are 6 secret singers identified only by their occupation and, singing pursues and that sort of thing. But anyway, he was on for one episode. So if you're able to go stream it somewhere on Fox, go check him out. He's with Kelly Osbourne.
He told me recently that he shot this a while ago, actually. And it's when he was doing Pacerville. So that explains the big beard and all of that stuff.
Yeah. And he mentioned Pacerville in our After Dark Zoom the other night, said it was, a really fun project, dark movie, and it will be coming out this spring. So we'll kind of stay on top of that and let everybody know when they can expect to see Pacerville. I know I can't wait.
Yes. Okay. I can't wait either. So
movie date. What?
Okay.
Friends go on movie dates, Pete.
I didn't react either negative. I didn't make any. I just giggled about it. Oh my god.
Oh my god.
All right, let's see what we have here. Okay. Oh, there he is.
Yes, more Brian Austin Green. This was from Maggie's Instagram story. I think she got the best picture of all of us.
That's the Jen Len picture.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Not Jen Len.
It says Maggie up in the corner.
Christelle. I think it might be.
Oh, a Christelle picture. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It's either Maggie or Christelle's picture. Yeah.
Yes. But anyway, the picture was really great. It was so nice to have him pop in. It was funny because you texted me, hey, it was something like get ready for something, and I was like, okay, color me interested. And then 2 minutes later he pops in, so I think everybody was just like beyond excited for that. It was funny, he gave some people, you know, some shit for not having their cameras on. That was kind of funny. I love that he just like messes around, you know.
He's great.
Seems like such a normal, fun, cool guy.
He is. Another shout out here to Rodney, my buddy on Instagram. Good to hear from you.
Oh yeah, Rodney actually was messaging me this week to ask me to follow him back. I try really hard to follow people that follow me. I'm not always great about it, but
you suck at it. Okay, here's another one. You're full of shit. No, remember that last week?
Oh yes, I do remember.
You're not. You're really not though. Okay.
I'm the most like authentic, like open book person you'll meet. I mean, I tell it like it is, Pete, you know?
You do, but whatever the thing was last week, you were not. You told me that Kathleen did not have a new story up and she had something up, so you were full of shit. Now, Becky Westers also wants me to say hello. So hello, Becky Westers. Okay.
Hey, Becky.
I'm just kidding with you.
I love all of our fans. Like, the best thing about this whole 100 episode thing, again, just to recap, is meeting all these fans and being a part of this community. It's been so cool. It's really cool.
You know who from our fans I'm all about these days?
Who? But that's okay.
I was gonna say our friend Anna from
Anna Leon from Germany. Or France. Is she France?
I think she's from France.
I think she's France, yes.
I don't know. We've been tweeting and, well, not a lot of tweeting, but she like did her own hair and stuff. So a shout out to my friend Anna. Okay.
Oh, very nice.
She's so sweet.
I love our Planet 90210 people. They are all good people. Such a great group.
Okay. And I agree.
Yes, so this is a little bit of 90s news. So Apple Original Films is having a film called The Beanie Bubble with Zach Galifianakis, Elizabeth Banks, Sarah Snook, some other people, kind of rehashing the whole big trend in the 90s. It's a great cast. It will be on Apple TV Plus. I'm not sure when. They just released the news. But for anyone that had Beanie Babies, funny story, I worked at a toy store in the 90s and we sold Beanie Babies, and there was like a Beanie Baby robbery when I was working. So this guy came in with a trench coat and like loaded them all up and like ran out of the store, and I had to actually go to the police station and do like lineup pictures for this Beanie Baby thief. It was like really crazy, but
that's pretty.
And I had the Princess Diana bear. Wish I still had it. Feel like it would be worth something, but
it was a craze in New Jersey as well. It was all over the place. I remember that.
Swept like the nation, if not the globe. I don't know how big they were overseas, but man, those were like, whew, it was quite a trend.
Amazing. Okay.
You seem very interested in that, Pete.
Oh, I even jotted down notes of your story.
Great, because details are important.
I will tell you why later. So, okay, so here is this.
Oh, yeah. So Tori Spelling is going to be part of a video game, which is pretty cool. Gosh, I don't have this on my rundown, so I guess I failed this week. But anyway, she's going to play a fortune teller. I can't actually read the screen to read the post right now.
Very excited to announce that I'm going to be part of one of my favorite creators' new video game, Jed Shepard, the genius writer, EP. Do you want me to keep reading?
No. That's cool. So I'm on my laptop. It's too small to read.
The Ghost is the name of the
Ghost is the name. Okay, that's what I wanted to get at, the name of the video game. I'm not really a gamer, like actually at all. I kind of hate video games, but I think it's going to be awesome that Tori's going to be in one. That's like a cool thing to cross off your celebrity bucket list, right? Being part of a video game. Yep.
And she seems like she's doing better. And hopefully I'm trying to get her to do my guest star. Because she was as a little kid, she was in a lot of classic shows and movies and stuff like that. So
would you consider her role as Violet Bickerstaff a guest star on Saved by the Bell, or would that be more of like a recurring role? Like,
I think she was a guest star.
Guest star? Okay, cool.
I think and that would be something covered. But then I also would love to get her perspective on guest stars coming in. We can go through the whole 90210 guest star. We'll go through everybody together.
Oh, I love that. Oh, that'd be really fun. Oh.
So, especially people that she worked with. So, Tori, what's up? All right, now let's see. God, fuck. All right. Ah, shit. I didn't hit the button. There it is. Okay.
So Jenny shared this photo on Instagram. A soccer mom pic. I just thought it was cute to put up. For me, it's relatable. My son plays baseball and basketball, so I'm always, shuffling around to games. And it's cool to see that, that our celebrity people just do regular things like the rest of us. So what a great mom.
It's not a secret, but we were talking about COVID at the top of the show, and it's affected a lot of people. And Jenny and Tori were both affected by COVID, and it's been really tough for a lot of people. So it's good to see her out though, and kind of doing the things that she normally does. Love seeing her post.
Are you getting a delivery? Like, what's up with the dog barking right now?
There is definitely a delivery, and I can't wait for it. No, it's totally cool.
What are you getting delivered? What's so exciting?
This is really boring. It's really boring. Actually, my laptop busted, so I had to get a replacement part. But this has been going on for a month and whatnot, and that part is coming here today. And then as soon as I'm done here, and then my guest star interview, I'm going to get it repaired. So
Apple or PC?
It's an Apple. Yeah.
Good. My people.
I know that you don't have any pictures for her this week, but so I thought I would throw back to this. When I met Kathleen.
Back when you had a shaved head.
I know. I kind of regret that now.
I prefer your hair, like, hair.
Or a beanie. You know what I mean? Like, I should have totally rocked a beanie. But, I mean, there's always next time, right?
There is next time. Yep. The beanies are good. I like the beanies.
All right. So, let's see here. And she's doing well. I spoke with her today. She's a very busy person. So, just to update, there's your news on Kathleen.
Oh, thank you, Pete. We were all dying to know.
Just in case. Well, I'm sure there's somebody that wants to know that information.
Of course, there's someone that wants to know everything out there. Just
okay.
Find them.
And I want to also plug. This is not. Nobody asked me to plug this, but in Pasadena, there's a great restaurant called U Street Pizza, and now for lunch they're doing square pies. I don't know. That's an East Coast thing, probably.
Pizza al taglio, I believe, is pizza by the square.
Okay, well, that's great, Guy Fieri. But I just, I'm telling you, these square pie pizzas are so incredible. So if anybody wants to hang out and but it's got to be a weekday, and come hang out with me and go get square pies at U Street Pizza in Pasadena, let me know. We'll plan a little event. So, but it's got to be weekdays lunch. So that's the deal there.
A few limitations there. Oh, yay! This is my favorite.
Well, and obviously you have to be in LA.
Obviously, or fly in, right?
Okay. You could fly in for the pizza square.
Yes.
It might be kind of insane.
Yes.
I mean, I would fly in for a pizza square. I'm just saying that I am that kind of person. So.
Wow, we know you like your food.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, so I wore my heart earrings today to plug this. Graham the Love. This is my passion project. I've been doing it for a few years. From February 1st to the 14th, I ask people to post photos of love or hearts, whatever love looks like to you. Tag #GrahamTheLove and @GrahamTheLove. I think there's one more picture there, Pete, if you want to throw that up. Yep. These are the top posts under the Graham the Love hashtag. We've got like 1,050 posts. I'd like to get more up this year. So head over to @GrahamTheLove, hit follow. You can read more about my mission to make social media great again there, and fill our Instagram feeds with love in February. One lucky person that posts, I will donate $100 to their nonprofit of choice. I'm actually looking for someone to match another 100 so we can do even, more good and donate $200 to a cause. I don't know why my throat has a problem every time that I'm speaking. It's like ridiculous. In normal life, I don't have to clear my throat. Like, what's going on?
I love it.
Let me clear my throat.
Oh, gosh.
Anyway, sorry. Was it really that bad? I mean,
no, it was fantastic, but wow, I loved it. I thought it was really great. Okay. I'm over here, like in the, I'm like going through this LarryMullen.com, 90210 show on Twitter.
Totally. I'm trying just here clearing my fucking throat, right?
No, but I'm like trying to find #GrahamTheLove because I know we covered this at some other point. I was like, why would I fucking delete it? But I obviously I did.
Yeah, I did it last year. I've been doing it for a few years now, and really, it's just a little side thing I like to do. I love love. I love hearts. I love animal love and hearts and nature and all that stuff. So just something to try to, make the world a little more loving.
I mean, that's amazing, Melanie. You're always doing all that
Graham
cool
the
stuff.
Love, baby. Graham the Love.
And what we're doing is looking to have people join our Patreon.
Nothing like a shameless self-promotion, right? That's
in
okay.
the middle about gramming the love. It's really most appropriate then. So, hey, patreon.com/Beverly Hills 90210 show. You never know who's going to pop in or what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. So it's really just a matter of scheduling and all of that fun stuff. It is a free form place to watch the show, talk about the show. We do watch-alongs without Chuck and Larry sometimes, and just like watch an episode together, a bunch of fans, and we're really going to turn it up again pretty soon. So during the holidays and all that stuff, it's tough to do lots of things because there's so many moving parts with everybody. But make sure you get back on it. Patreon.com/Beverly Hills 90210 show. And Chris D'Annunzio asked me to say hello to him too. So there's another one. Oh. And hang on. And there is a hit. I have 6 hidden messages. What the fuck?
And Instagram. Don't you hate that? The requests. So annoying.
It's just mind-boggling, though.
I know. Especially people that you've actually communicated with before. The algorithm's all stupid sometimes.
What the fuck?
I'm wearing my CU hoodie, by the way. Just I am quick. Very nice merch situation over here for anyone that wants to go buy some merch.
I am wearing the After Dark.
Oh, very nice. Simple and black matches your beanie. Love it.
Thank you. Okay, I want to say something too. Thank you very much to Todd H. He came through in a big way last week with the 100 clip thing, and man, we just appreciate you so much here and all the help that you've given the show, because it's a lot and it's hard for one person to do, and you just step in and step up, and I think your work is great. And if anybody is looking to have something edited, I don't know what, ToddHerbertEdits.com. Hopefully I got that right.
I need to email him. I have a very self-indulgent request to pull a clip of Charles talking about my headbands and me putting them on the map in San Diego from this week's show. So Todd, I'll be emailing you, and thank you ahead of time.
I'm sure he's looking forward to that.
I know, of course. I had one more thing on my list that I didn't have a picture of, so don't stress. There's no picture. You're not missing anything. Mm-hmm. But I read a rumor about Hilary Swank, who of course was Carly on season 8 of Beverly Hills 90210, that she might join Cobra Kai, which would be exciting. Be I love Cobra Kai. Of course, she was involved in the original franchise. And the quote from the production team: "We can say that we talk about her, and maybe we've met her, maybe we've worked with her, maybe we haven't. We can't tell you anything. It's going to continue to be a question until either she shows up or the series ends, and we welcome the question every time." So it could happen, maybe not, but it sounds like it could. So that would be a cool 90210 tie-in on Cobra Kai, which I love. Season 4
I haven't it's been a minute since I've watched that, but I know it's really great.
I love it.
Okay, almost done here with everything. Todd made this. I don't remember what this is for. I'm just going to play it.
Great. Oh, Planet 90210. Oh, look at all our friends.
I mean, it's so loud.
It is loud, yep.
This is...
Oh, and now that was America's zip code also. It looks like maybe
looks like everybody that sort of participated. And for those that are listening and not watching, it's Zara and Lordina and Melissa and Louise.
Nancy, Glenda, everybody's on here. Oh my God, Beth, Maggie.
Oh, it's a thank you to all the fans. Is
yes.
This is so exciting.
Oh, this was from our 1 year.
Yeah, that's very cool. Thank you so much for that, so Todd. Cool. It's good to see everybody's very pretty faces.
Hey, and Pete, before we go, what are you watching right now?
Oh, the Golden Girls. I have never seen a single episode of the Golden Girls, maybe 1 or 2. And I, because I'm interviewing somebody today, Alan Blumenfeld, excuse me, and he's been a guest star on so many things. So I was watching the Golden Girls, and man, is that such a funny show.
Oh, well, thank you for being a friend. Yeah. It sure is, man. I love that show. I loved Betty White. I loved all the Golden Girls. So good. I can't believe you've never watched it before. That's crazy.
I mean, like a handful of episodes, I'm aware of it, but so because of this, I was like, oh, this show is very funny. B. Arthur is hilarious. Betty White's hilarious.
Oh my God, she's so funny. They're all so funny.
Really good. And also, I watched that movie on Netflix called Don't Look Up.
Don't Look Up. What did you think?
I loved it. I love that director though. So for me, I'm always going to like his stuff. So
yeah, absolutely.
And then the other person I'm all about these days too from our fan community is Becca Shin, who just shouted me out and said, "Oh, if I missed it because of all that shout out stuff." But no, she's a sweetheart.
She's so sweet, and she was in our After Dark this week, and she had a rough couple weeks, and it was nice to see her cheered up with Brian, and she's so sweet. I love these younger fans. She's I think 23, and just looking back like to when I was 23, it seems like a lifetime ago. Like I just can't imagine being that young again. It must be so nice. And hey, just really quick, I am watching Ozark. Ozark season 4, part 1 dropped today. Woke up this morning, watched half of the first episode. Haven't gotten through it yet, but that is what I will be watching, and I cannot wait. Laura Linney, Wendy Bird is savage. She might be one of the most savage characters on TV. I am obsessed with her.
Amazing. I don't know what that means. I haven't seen it, so
you haven't seen Ozark or the new season. You've seen Ozark, right?
I haven't seen the new season, so I don't know where.
Last season?
I saw most of last season, but I have a really hard time remembering all my streaming stuff. So I have to do a dive back in. Yes.
Do a recap.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Well, this is great. I also had, for some odd reason, thought you were talking about Yellow Jackets. I thought that's what you were talking about, and not Ozark.
But actually, can I just talk about Yellow Jackets again? I know I've said it like the last 3 weeks in a row, but Yellow Jackets on Showtime is like my new favorite show. I am obsessed with the cast. Juliette Lewis, Christine.
I love her.
Melanie Linsky is incredible. I also love that she's got a real woman's body, and she's like owning, the body positivity message, which I love. I'm a curvy girl, so I get it. And, she's great. I love the whole cast, and such a good show. Season 1's over. Season 2, bring it on. It's on Showtime. Everybody go watch. Get the free trial. Watch Yellow Jackets. Drop a comment. Tell me what you think.
All right. This has been great, Melanie. It's always good seeing you on Fridays for our news show. I really love doing it. Thank you for labeling the pictures. I didn't have a problem this week figuring everything out. So
I'm so proud of you. This is so exciting. Wow.
I mean, it takes me a minute, but once everything's laid out for me, I'm really good.
Nailed it. Definitely. All right. Well, hey, this was fun. Everybody get out there and check out Graham the Love this weekend, please. We'll see you next week on the news. Thanks for tuning in. And with that, 9021 out.